Proper Punters, brought to you by CrossBet. Are you ready to level up your punting game?
All right, and welcome back to another week of Proper Punters. I'm here with my man Tom Forward. How are we?
Good, mate. It's been a good week of racing. Hopefully we can continue on to Saturday.
How good is it to actually bet on dry tracks?
Yeah, phenomenal. So much better.
Oh, it's just like the heavy track. It's your confidence is shot. And then you come back and you bounce back and then you have like 3 days of dry racing and it's just like, oh, I remember how to do this. This is good. Like I do the form and horses run to how they should. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Last week found a few winners. Kicked off in the first with Wanneroo, which was a big blower, which I thought was strange.
Yeah, I don't know what the big punters were thinking, but
Gay Waterhouse up in distance, mapped perfect. Yeah. It was a really, I just couldn't work out why it blew. I did think that there was other chances in the race, but it was clear top pick for me. And
it looked fine in the yard. I mean, the yard report came back positive, and
maybe the late rider change, but I couldn't see Winona being a negative on that horse either.
Not with lead. You just knew where the horse was going to settle. Yeah, it wasn't going to be a map, a tricky map for the horse. It was just going to find the front. So I could have taken most jockeys in that position.
And then we had Nash on, what was the shorty that got caught wide?
Bear on the Loose.
In the
staying race.
Bit of I don't know.
It was a strange one.
It was a strange one. If you watch George footage, he was there. Easily could have gone forward. He rode almost like God most of the day, but had a complete brain snap. I think one thing with Nash, you can sometimes just go, you just rode that like a 4 kilo apprentice, and then he comes out in the last and finishes off with like one of the best rides found in the outside fence and just absolutely schooled him.
You'll say, what the hell is that? And it's either the best thing you've ever seen from him or the worst thing you've ever seen from him.
Boy, it kind of reminds me of like Jimmy Maloney as a footy player. He would like throw an intercept and you just go, oh my God. And then you'd come out and win you the game and just play an absolute. So I think I was pulling my hair out and I halved my bet in the last because I just didn't know what was going on. I was in disarray and then he rode it like God. So we get back to Rosehill and it looks like we're going to have a drying track, currently a soft 6, rail in a 3 metre. I'd be predicting the way that the weather's looking, we'll probably get to a 5.
Yeah.
And I doubt they'll be putting water on it. So
no.
And it should just keep getting faster as the day goes on.
I hope so. There's a nice breeze in Sydney today. Should just get over the track and dry it out a bit further. Would be nice to be on a soft 5, pushing a good 4. I miss those days.
It seems like so long ago, doesn't it? How are you expecting the rail to play? Obviously, rail 6 metres on a dry track's usually pretty on pace on fans. So how are you seeing it?
Yeah, I think within 3 lengths of the leaders will be ideal. Don't know if you'll be able to swoop just with a drying Rosehill track. It's a bit harder than sort of Randwick to find those wider lanes. I think a couple off the fence in the straight will be ideal.
Yeah.
But if the leaders get there first, then you're looking at sort of an up and off track where you want to be up on speed, but then getting off those inside lanes.
It becomes tricky. I think sometimes it depends on how quick the jockeys work it out. Because if they keep sitting on the fence, you get those horses that can slide up into that beautiful running line.
Yeah.
But if they all start to get off the fence, and then sometimes they think, oh, the fence is fucked, and then they get too wide.
Yeah.
Like I think you saw some of the riders at Randwick last week, obviously on the fence was the place to be. And then you've kind of got a few off the fence, and then there's that gap where it's no man's land.
Yeah.
And then there's that right down the outside, as Nash showed us how fast it is out wide. So, it could be a tricky one to see how they ride it. And I think we'll just have to keep a very close eye on race to race and seeing how that bias can change.
Yeah, definitely.
We were going to do the last 5 races, but we're against each other in the first.
Yeah, we've got a.
Let's start off there.
It looks a good race, I think.
Look, I've got a lot of respect for the 2-year-olds. Some of these 2-year-olds. You've got Get a Fix in the race, who's now gelded. Was impressive winner on debut. Went out as trialled and good. You've got Mawjood, who I'll let you talk about. His win was highly impressive after being gelded. I think also first up.
Yeah.
Beat Topolin, who's then come out and pissed in.
Yeah.
Do have a query. My query is whether he was suited by the heavy track, but we'll discuss that in a minute. You've got Mayfair, who was a decent run against Brave One. You got a couple other nice trialers, and then right down the bottom, there's a horse I'm very interested to see in Sensational Wind.
Yeah.
Kick us off with Mawjood.
Yeah, I am all over this horse. I like lightly raced horses from the Hawk stable. I think they can, when they've got nice ones, they can take their time with them and get them ready and get them set for the right races. The win was good, fresh. The trials were phenomenal coming in.
Yeah.
Sat wide at Roke Farm, which people want to say it is a negative, but I mean it's only
I think it was I think it was a positive that day.
Yeah.
You definitely didn't want to be on the fence, and when you're in that shoot and just come straight over, I think it's an advantage more often than not, as long as the wind's not in your face.
Yeah, as long as it's an off fence day, you can kind of slingshot off the.
Right. And so it definitely
corner.
was that was definitely my query with it, and that's why I thought the 240. Look, I wouldn't be surprised to see it win.
Yeah.
Definitely think the horse is going good. I can see why it's favourite. This horse, Sensational Win. I absolutely love the mum. It was an Oaks horse.
Yeah.
Trained by the great Johnny Sargent and that sexy moustache that he rocks. Absolute legend. Love you, Johnny. But this horse, this filly's by I'm Invincible. It looks to have a lot more early pace than Watts and a far more dynamic turn of foot. I love this trial. Loved it. For what I look for. And it looks like the sort of horse that Jason Collett rides perfect.
Yeah.
Put it to sleep and just accelerate.
Yeah.
Whether she's going to be looking for a little bit further, maybe. Her mum was an Oaks winner. But the 1200 first up just looks absolutely ideal. And I love how dynamic her trial was over 786, the first one, and then 814. Like, it wasn't like these were 900-metre trials, and she was putting them away over the shorter trips, where I think is a bonus due to her breeding.
Yeah.
Does have it says the Chicas first side, so there is a little bit of rawness to her.
Yeah.
But I think they should go along at a decent clip, which will allow her to relax. And even if she doesn't win, I think she would definitely be a horse to follow.
Yeah. Definitely.
You and I'll have a good little battle in the first.
I'll be ringing you after about 11:30.
There's probably a big chance I'll be on mine and saving yours, but I'll be beating my chest if I get you.
Yeah.
We kick off race 6. We've got the very informed in flight.
Yeah.
$2.40. You got Contemporary at $4. We then got Sivka Burka having its first start in Australia. I've got some sort of weird fetish for international horses having their first start in Australia, whether it be New Zealand or Europe. And I absolutely loved its trial.
Yeah, they were nice.
Before we go into that, show me the map.
Yeah. I didn't have much speed in this race, actually. No sole standout lead. I thought Extra Flash can lead from 9.
Yep.
It's led before in its career with the same jockey aboard. I think they'll want to roll forward, and I think In Flight can come across with it sitting on the inside gate 8. I think he can come across, sit on its back, sit outside it. It's got some options from there. And then I think Contemporary and Jetta Bill will get soft runs from low draws. Not sure on what J-Mac will do with the Kieran Ma import. I'm not going to have a stab at its name. I'll just call it the import.
Yes, Sivka Burka.
Yeah,
I think I probably got it wrong.
Yeah.
It looks straight out there.
But yeah, that doesn't look too much speed. I think those up on speed will get their favours, and you'll have to sprint hard from the back to sort of run over the top of them.
I think there's a huge show of intent that McDonald's been booked.
Definitely.
And he's fighting for the premiership. We've got the battle.
Yeah.
I think that's something you've really got to take into account, knowing that we've already seen it midweek when J-Mac went for the ride on Nancy and
Nash kind of just
schooled
his
him.
own. Yeah.
He just held his own and just it was smart racing. There wasn't a gap when he blocked it. He put the block on and however it would have gone, I think these two are going to be trying to win every race they can, and I know they'll be booking for every. They will only want to be on rides that they truly think can win.
Yeah, definitely.
I love this horse's trial. I've got it top pick.
Yeah.
It's got the look. I don't know how the form stacks up, and European form we're usually looking at it with stayers, but it's raced in group company over there, and there's clearly. There's maybe an argument to say that maybe In Flight is on the trajectory of maybe a listed Group 3 style horse, potentially.
Yep.
I just love the two trials. I think Kieran Maher's really good at. He got the winner yesterday with
True to form.
This horse really looked fresh, looked ready to go. The 1100 looks like it will suit it. It was really on the bit.
I thought the distance was a slight niggle, but
What you wanted it further?
yeah, maybe 12 would have been more of a tick for me. But
you know what? Yes,
I think I'm just picking at straws a bit there. Like
maybe a little bit. I just thought in the way that it trialled, it really trialled on the chewy. And I think when you have horses that trial so much like that on the chewy, I think the faster they go, the better, because it allows them to drop their head, allows them to relax.
Yeah.
And I expect it to be strong late.
Yeah.
At the $6 mark, I think it's a great each way bet. I personally will probably, I'm not a big each way punter, but I'll probably be backing Sivka Burka, and I'll be saving on In Flight. I thought last start, everything went right for it. They went fast, got the beautiful suck run, pulled out into the right part of the track and let down. But in saying that, look, it was just impressive in the way that she did it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, but I'm against In Flight for the reasons you just said. I just thought she just got the perfect ride last weekend.
Yeah,
the speed was on. She got off at the fence at the right time, unimpeded run, full of momentum, and she was sort of set up to run as well as she did, and she did just that. So now to Rosehill, might have to sit in the breeze sit outside extra flash, and it's a different run because you come out of the chute at Rosehill and you're turning for a lot of the race, whereas down at the Randwick chute you sort of coming down.
Time.
Yeah, you got time before you're turning, so it's just a different beast. And the 7-day backup too is something we haven't seen from this filly before. So $2.30, I was happy to
oppose.
Happy to oppose, respecting the import with J-Mac and Kieran Maher on. And like we said with Nash, contemporary, there's intent there from the jockey.
Yeah.
The low draw, the soft run throughout. Don't be surprised to see Nash scrape the paint up the inside and try and throw this one over the line.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely not be bagging it. I thought his last win was phenomenal. The horse was, really impressive win.
Yep.
I own a Merc. I was on it early in the prep. Was racing well. Like, it's run the Opal Ridge first up. I'm not a huge fan now of these horses that start here, go up there, come back. It's a lot of travel.
Yeah.
It's still relatively lightly raced. Like, it's only had the 14 starts, so it's probably a fair bit of work for it. It was a bit disappointing last start. Notice it has the tongue tied first time, so could maybe got its tongue over the bit.
Yeah.
And could see it return to better form here. Definitely has ability on its day. And I just thought Jetabil last start, I don't think appreciated the heavy track. Just One Destiny's a dead set wet tracker, and just when he tried to really let down, the
wheels were spinning.
The wheels were spinning a bit. So I expect him to probably be a better chance. The more I look at it, I don't know if we discuss them, the in-flight unders, it really is unders.
Yeah.
I'm gonna my strategy is gonna be the one each way.
Yeah, beautiful.
We move on to race 7. Let's have a look at the pace.
Doesn't look much speed again. Gulf of Mexico, Loco, and probably going to get this name wrong, but Acerai are all prominent. But yeah, it didn't look like a lot of speed, but unless something else wants to sort of take the race on. And
Acerai's are scratching.
Beautiful. Then there's even less tempo than when I looked this morning. So Gulf of Mexico and Loco, I think, will want to be prominent.
Look, the two likely leaders.
Age of Sail will want to get up there from a soft draw.
Soft draw should sit closer up in trip for sure. Got way too far back. We saw Nash starting to look for that outside fence in that meeting there.
Yeah, he was testing it.
I was on it last start each way, hit the line exceedingly well.
Yep. 2400 looks ideal.
Well, 24 high, it's won twice over 2400, and one thing I learned from a pretty young age with 2400 meter form and like 1000 meter form sit different to almost all other form. This horse is a genuine 2400 meter horse. Nash stays aboard. Love the way it attacked the line. It was able to do that on a heavy track where all of its wins and form are on good tracks, on dry tracks. So I'm assuming drier the better. I think sits closer. I think you very rarely hear me say in a 2400 meter race, but probably could be one of the better bets of the day.
Yeah, wow.
So
it's big from a staying race.
It's very big from a staying race. I very rarely think, I'm excited. keen to be bet here, but no, I genuinely am.
Yep.
I thought Kapakiri got pushed wide. Last start was forced to work really early, and I thought it was pretty game in still working the line.
Yep.
J-Mac booked.
Yep.
Good sign. Probably want to be against the toppy.
I was the same with you.
Yeah, got the right run. Probably not too harsh though, just in the fact of he's definitely lightly raced and is doing everything right. But Jay Ford rode an absolute treat, and Benjamin Osman, a 3 kilo apprentice, is really going to have to, like, when it comes to racing, staying racing is very tactical.
Yeah.
So as much as obviously weight's a factor in it and getting the 3 kilos off is beneficial, little Benjamin Osman is going to have to play a chess game with James McDonald and Nash Rawiller.
Yeah, I was the same. I thought $5 was a gross price, and I was sort of double figures really.
Yeah.
How
How are you playing the race?
Concede Age of Sale on top. Looked at it this morning. It was 280. Now it's to 330. You were telling me earlier, which looks a bet. I was sort of in that $3 range. As a
There's
bet
even
for
340 around. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting what they do on the day. We'll know more after the track and stuff. But I think all signs point to it being the one.
Yeah, it looks. I genuinely think it's one of the better bets of the day. That's where I am. I think Nash will be picking up a point there.
Yeah.
We move on to race 8, the Winter Challenge.
Yep.
We've got War Eternal, $2.50 favourite. We've got King of the Castle around the $4.80 mark. We've also got Tamerlane. I'm just going to quickly mention Tamerlane. Liked at the start before. Still thought knew it had mapped right. For some reason, was so close to having something on it. And then just watch it. As soon as it found the front, just went, it's so suited. And it was just, that song, Hello Darkness, My Old Friend? It was just ringing in my head. Like, why the fuck? Did you not just have a couple of hundred on it? I was,
a mental health bet.
Yeah,
That's
just
what you needed.
that I needed the mental health bet. But all right, take us through the map, Tommy.
I got Tamerlane and Zoe's Promise, both wanting to get control. I've got an average to above average tempo here, depending on who else wants to be up there.
Yeah.
But I thought Tamerlane sat outside. I know a star last start. They went pretty quick. He kicked off it. It was a tough win. I think they'll want to be up there again. Zoe's Promise coming down from Queensland. Chris Lee's runner will want to be up there as well. Plenty of speed in this race. Will be interesting what the track's doing by now, because there's a few decent horses in behind that have a nice turn of foot. So if they go too fast, I think it sets it up for those getting nice runs in the midfield area.
Yeah, definitely. We'll start off with War Eternal. You spoke before, you're opposing?
Just at the price, on the quick backup, which Bjorn doesn't do too often, has had some success with it. But likewise to In Flight, I just thought it got the perfect run last start at Randwick. That 3 wide line trifected that race, actually. Tijuana, Bojangles and War Eternal, they trifected that race. That seemed to be the place to be later on in the day when you saw win from out wide and South of India come out wide. So that seemed to be the place later in the day. I thought it just got the right run, got the suck on Tijuana just off its back and just slingshot down the middle of the track. Up in grade now and won't get similar favours, I think, at a Rosehill track. So I thought $3 was under the odds.
And which way are you going?
I was looking to King of the Castle, maps well, and ran a good third last start. Extra 100 metres is suitable. And then I'm also looking to Charterhouse, who has a good turn of foot, gets J-Mac on, comes down out of some races behind I Know a Star and Eagle Farm. So you can tie that form in with Tamerlane. And I was just happy to oppose War Eternal, play those 2 runners.
I'm in agreement with you there. I'm happy to oppose War Eternal. I can see the horse got ability, but as you said, got a lot of the favours, got the dream run. Seems probably rock bottom odds for me around that 6-4 range.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you'd want definitely well over 2-1 to be betting. I've got a little of a love affair with the horse here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a horse, more secrets. She's been a girl that's been in my stable for a long time. She hasn't won for a little while, but she has been up. Like, if you go back and look at her form, she comes out of the Tats Tiara. Before that, she's in the Hawkesbury Gold Cup Group 3. She's in the Queen of the Turf Group 1. She's in the Coolmore Group 1. She's in the Guy Walter Group 2. Like, they're her last 5 starts.
Yeah.
I love this horse.
Yep.
I'm looking here at $31. Her run last start in Eagle Farm, she was slow to begin. She very, very slow at the start. She then starts to get going, but then comes up the inside of the track, which was inferior.
Mm-hmm.
And then just as she starts to come out, just as she really starts to build momentum, she runs into trouble again. Bella Nippert, she's only been beaten 4.9 lengths. I think if she got clear running, she probably gets beaten maybe 3.5.
Yeah.
Mate, the horses that she's finished next to would be favourite in this race.
Yeah. Great point. Great find.
Coming out of that sort of race, so the horses she's finished next to, they would all be favourite in it. She's finished next to CS Majik, who absolutely pissed in the start before.
Yep.
Vienna Princess.
Yep.
Roots.
Yeah.
What price would these horses be in this race?
Yeah. Below $3.
Yeah, yes, she's coming off an SP of $151, but this horse, each way, all day, stepping in, probably a massive bet to place, and be having a very good bet to win.
Yeah,
I am all over this, and 54 kilos, she's getting, it's weighted well. On ability, she should be carrying 59.
Yeah,
just unbelievable. I'm very keen.
Unreal. Can't
very
wait.
Keen. I'll probably.
You got me excited now.
Yeah, it's probably run into a bit of trouble, run a nice fifth, and I'll sit there just crying. But no, I'm keen.
Beautiful.
Race 9. We go to Cholton Lane.
Yeah.
Obviously a highly talented horse. $2.25 best at the moment. How's the pace look, Tommy?
Looks fast. Elson Boy strung together a few wins, then ran second last start. It'll want to go to the front again and control.
Yeah.
Much, much better. Tried to sit up on speed last start. Just faded, ran a fourth, but it'll want to be up there again. So I got a fast tempo, which I think sets it up for Cholton Lane. Looking at my form, I think Cholton Lane will just be too good for this field. Forgiving the failure in Melbourne, which we've spoken about before. Happy to forgive one run when the market liked. And I'm also just trusting the stable's intent too, bringing them up to Sydney, booking J-Mac. If they thought there was something wrong with the horse after last start failure, I think they would have looked at other options or given it a jump out or other spells. But I'm all over Cholton Lane. The drier, the better. If it gets down to a good 4, the chips are in with J-Mac wanting to get the Jockeys Premiership.
I agree with everything you said. He's already won twice at the track, which I think is a huge bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Find your bookie. I think he's won.
Yeah, sounds good, mate. That's short, sharp, and sweet.
Short, sharp, and sweet. Yeah. That's
dangers,
it.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to probably take I'll take the exacta with Daylight.
Yeah.
I just think he's the right horse. I think he's got above average ability. He's still relatively lightly raced. Once again, he's got form to Vienna Princess, who would kill this field on her day.
Yeah.
Forgiving the run last at Melbourne, he's 1/6 up. I hate saying it, but ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
That gay cliche term.
Yeah.
But that's it. All right, let's move on to the last. We have. Can I say it's nice doing form for a dry trade?
Yeah.
And a few of these horses go all right. I'm feeling inklings of springs are a little bit around the corner.
Yeah, it'd be good to do the form for this meeting, especially if it's a dry track. I like doing reviews for meets because it seems to be that the form stands up and you can take them into...
It's nice when the only thing that can be a trap for a lot of people is when you go dry form, wet form, back to dry form.
Yeah.
Because you've got horses that just go absolute bust and you just have to forgive them. But it's like, how many lengths do you give them? It's very hard to do.
Yeah.
All right. Massive field to finish the last. We've got... What's the number 7? How do you pronounce that? Willowed Way?
Willado, I believe.
Yeah, Willado, sorry.
Yeah.
Willado?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister. Yeah.
Willado's around the $4 mark. Then we've got Union Army's Tried Enormous, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Take us with the speed, Tom.
I got a fast tempo, Willado and
Willado,
Silent Star, King of Naples, Oakfield Duke will want to be up there. They're the sort of first four I had in my map. And then a few others that will want to sit midfield. Union Army will want to just sit off them, let the speed go and sort of try and sprint home. I'm against Willado just at the price. The bookies opened up like high twos, I think 280, and all the punters just said nope. They opened Union Army up at 9s. It's into 6s after a really nice trial. I was hoping to get some of the 9s, missed the 9s, but I was all over the trial. Looked really good. One last preparation at Rosehill over the track and distance. Looks good. Looks like the one if the speed just goes a bit too quick, it'll be the one finishing strongly, I think. That's how I'm going to play it. Union Army each way.
I am totally in agreement with you. I love this horse. I think I was on him when he won last prep. I've always had a really good opinion of this horse. And I think he looks like he's come back that little bit more mature again.
Yeah.
Looks strong. Fuck, he's a real strong type. Both trials were sensational. The first one was good, just worked through the line. And then, his last time he finished really close. Rory rode him in both trials.
Yeah.
And Rory predominantly rides at the provincials on the weekend, and he's come.
Yeah, so it's a good push.
It's a very good push.
Yeah.
Like Rory can get close to a full book. He doesn't usually because of his weight, but can obviously pick up a lot of rides there. And I just think I loved it. I absolutely loved this horse's trial. He hasn't won first up in the past, has had 2 placings. But I'm all over it. I think it's a massive chance. Other notable mentions, Abel Willie.
Yep.
Good last start. I think we're hitting the line. Obviously, Nash will be throwing the kitchen sink to try and pick up another point.
Yep.
Smashing Eagle also hit the line decent behind him.
Yep.
Needs luck.
Good turn of foot.
Got a great turn of foot. And look, I concede favourite's definitely a key chance, but don't really want to be on it at the price.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looks like we're Union Army, probably each way in the last for me.
Yeah, just being first up, I tend to sort of keep the place on side if they're not fit enough. And there's other queries, but I think they can run into a top 3.
I think they should go hard in this race at last field, as long as there's no more scratchings.
Yeah.
They will push, especially if the track is starting to show signs of playing fast. I think they will really have a go at trying to put themselves there.
Agree.
Take us through your best bets.
Best bets, Rosehill, race 1, Mawjood. We briefly discussed it, but I liked the win fresh. Zach Lloyd was soft on it. I like the style, and I think he can win again for us. Then we'll go down to Flemington, race 3, First Settler. Another 2-year-old, sat wide on debut, put him away pretty comfortably, eased down, still ran the fastest last 200 of the day. I think there's more to come. And then Eagle Farm, race 1, Pure Paradise. Good run for the new Tony Gollan stable. Liked the win. I think the form will stack up behind Cigar Flick, and it can win on Saturday. How about yourself?
Mate, I've got 5 best bets.
Wow.
I am kicking off with race 1. I'm against you. Race 1, number 8, sensational wins. Comes out of a Oaks mare. Just loved her dynamic trial. Love the way she's done. This horse looks like an absolute machine. If she doesn't win because it is a tough race, she'll be a horse to follow. I am really keen on this horse. I'm sticking with the same Kira Marsable. Race 6, number 1, Suyuka Burka. Having its first start in Australia, both trials were sensational. I think in-flight could be a little bit of a risk now at the price, and I think an unbelievable each way about J-Mac aboard. We move down to race 7, number 2, Age of Sail. Nash tried to sail down the outside fence last start at Randwick and just come up a little bit short, up to the 2400, can sit closer, and I think he's by far the horse to beat, and I think could be one of the better bets of the whole day. Race 8, number 5, More Secret, $31 each way. I think comes back from Group Company. It's a benchmark grade. This is a really talented mare on her day. If she has any luck, I can't see her missing a place. And race 9, number 3, Charlton Lane. Talented horse, won twice at the track already, can make up for his probably subpar run first up, will appreciate the track getting dry, and probably take the Quinella with Daylight for second. All right, well, there's a lot of enthusiasm going on. Sometimes I get really confident, scares the fuck out of me going into a meeting, because racing has this amazing way of putting, just when you build confidence, putting the tail between your legs and sending you packing. But I'm excited for dry track racing. Things happens with bias, so guys, join the Discord, get involved. We'll do lots of late mail throughout the day. This is just scratching the surface of what we do of a Saturday and kick on every week. We've had a good couple of days with the track dry, so come join the community. We're going to run a Punters Club day in the next couple of Saturdays at the Chloe Hotel. Hopefully our man can be here, Tommy, and hopefully tip you a few winners and have a beer on the day. So
Beautiful.
See you guys next week.
Sounds good.
Ciao.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.